Good morning, afternoon, or evening, everyone. Today, I'm going to be covering the new Tier 10 Japanese Special Heavy Cruiser, the Kushiro. I think it's pronounced. Maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, do please correct me, of course. I'm not Japanese, so I'm not going to know the language 100%, but I tried my best. So this is the ship here. For the build I'm going to be running for this video, by the way, guys, it is this build. I actually recommend you take the spotter plane in slot 1, but it's what I'm running in the video, so I'm going to show you this one. And for slot 2 as well, I recommend Hydro mod, but it's okay for now. If you don't have those things, you can just run this build, which I'm running as well. Feel free to pause the video and take a look at that. Before we actually talk about the ship and the gameplay, guys, I know I say this a lot now every video, but you guys have been subbing at a record alarming rate, so it's really nice. I appreciate it a lot, but for those of you who aren't subscribed, again, I will greatly appreciate the sub to the channel, so you know when I upload. So, well, of course, this is if you enjoy the content, right? So you know when I upload, so you can watch more content regardless, because I do intend to post more videos. And for those of you guys who are already subscribed, this is probably good news, because you guys will get to watch more World of Warships content from me, if you do enjoy it, of course. And of course, if you do enjoy it, do leave a like to the video or a comment. I will greatly appreciate it a lot. But into the gameplay, into the Kushiro. Now, what is it? To me, it looks like a Nabuki. It looks like a Nabuki, which sits at tier 10, but it's got some fun things added onto it. For example, let's start off. Well, I guess we should compare it realistically to the Zhao, because the Zhao is the tech tree counterpart for the Kushiro, I would say, or at least the most similar comparison we can give. So, I believe we have slower shell travel time than Zhao on this case in the Kushiro. But we've got 57,400 HP, which is actually quite a lot more than Zhao. I think that's around 7,000 more HP than Zhao, which is pretty decent. That your heals are also going to be a bit bigger because of that bigger HP. For those of you who are wondering, why am I running into the cap with a tier 10 cruiser here? The reason is it doesn't seem like there's a lot of enemies on this flank, and I wanted to actually support my Tromp by playing a bit more aggressive. And we can play a bit more aggressive with the Kushiro because we have the smoke screen. You're looking at it right now. We've got a fuel smoke. Now, is this the first Japanese cruiser with a fuel smoke? No, the first Japanese tier 10 cruiser with a fuel smoke was actually the Kitakami. But in this case, we'll seal it from the Kitakami and we put it on the Kushiro. You can actually extend the smoke time on the Kushiro by taking the smoke mod, but I did not in this case. So you get this 33 second fuel smoke, which is pretty decent because, again, Zhao doesn't have that, so you have that added availability of being able to, for example, in this case, we played a bit more aggressive. We got one shot on the Yu Yang. I don't know how much damage we ended up doing there in that shot, but that was pretty decent, I think. And now we've got a Bao and Des Moines here, which is also pretty cool. In terms of the spotter plane, it's just a standard spotter plane. We've got 203mm guns. We've got 10 of them instead of 12. They do reload pretty decently. I took top grade gunner because our concealment is 10.3 kilometers. And we can play a bit more aggressive with the ship. Not really all the time, but you have a fuel smoke with only 7.6 kilometer smoke firing range, by the way. So you can, like I said, play a bit more aggressive sometimes with that smoke. And you can use the torps, for example. They are the turning torps. They only go 8 kilometer range, unfortunately, but they do a solid 21,000 damage with 76 knots of speed. In this case, I don't think I'm going to be using them in any of the games I play today. But if you do play aggressive around islands, you can actually punish some ships. Now, you see this Conqueror? He's at 40k HP. A Yamato died. He got a shot off right before he died, and he one-shot him, which is pretty insane. So, what is the Kushiro available for? For those of you guys who don't know, it's actually available for free. And if you own quite a number of ships in the game already, it's actually pretty easy to obtain. So, in this year, instead of giving us just straight super containers, they're giving us a token called Festive tokens, guys. By day, I mean Wargaming. So, every game you play, not every game, but it's based on how much base XP you earn. You will be getting Festive tokens. For 10,000 Festive tokens, you can get the Kushiro for free. if you have enough ships at tier 10. Now, in my case, I played pretty much, I think, a few games, not even a lot, probably like around 10 games, and I got the Kushiro. Probably a bit less, actually, than 10 games, and I got the Kushiro because I have so many tier 10s, right? So the points are going to stack. Now, do you only get Festive tokens if you have tier 10s? No, you get them if you have tier 9s, 8s, 7s, and 6s. I don't know how far down, actually, but you get them for tier 10, 9, and 8 for sure. For tier super ship, you get steel. But you can obtain the Kushiro if you have enough ships for sure, and pretty easily at that. You can either pick between the Kushiro, I think, or you can also pick between those containers to get those special unique commanders. But personally, I went for the Kushiro because I already have those commanders. But it's up to you, of course, what decision you want to make. Now, you see me playing aggressive here. We're trying to find that Yu Yang. He was contesting the cap here. We're trying to find it. I'm pinging the map. Our CV is going to spot him. The Yu Yang did smoke. I actually thought the Yu Yang was right in front of me, but he was actually to my left, to my surprise. I think he was actually in front of me and crossed in front of the rock and went to that side. But we are trying to rush at him with Hydro. More importantly, our Hindenburg's getting that 6-kilometer Hydro on him. Hopefully he can punish him. And let's see. Ooh, here he is. Well, I just shot, so I know my Hindenburg's going to finish him off, so I'm not going to waste a shot on him. And we're going to keep going on this Republic. Now, in terms of damage output, we're not outputting so much damage this game because, as you saw on our flank, we don't have things really pushing into us. We have things running away from us, and we have to chase things. But we're not outputting a lot of damage. Of course, in games where people are going to be running into you, you can play that kiting cruiser role, and you're going to have a very easy time. In this case, we are playing aggressive, and that doesn't mean the ship can't play aggressive, but aggressive open water in this case, it's a bit harder. Understandably, you do have the smoke, so you should have a bit of an easier time. But mostly when you're going to play aggressive with the Kushiro, it has to be around islands, and it has to be against some isolated ships. You can't just go around the corner and just one-shot 4 people or something, you know? You have to be a bit cautious. You do have those torpedoes, which can punish ships. But you also have to play it like, at the end of the day, it is a cruiser, so you have to also be a bit careful. I skipped a bit forward here because nothing really happened between this and that moment, because everyone's running away, like I said. So anyway, I tried to find the carrier. I found the Essex. He's right here. And I tried to load some AP on his full broadside, and I get 6 overpens. Because I guess I'm aiming a bit too high, unfortunately, but that's okay. It's just some free damage at the end of the game here for us. A reward, one might say, of some big free damage. You'll see our top grade gunner here proccing, and you'll see our reload being pretty decent with this reload mod. We do get better stock range than Zhao as well, which is notable. Personally, overall, this ship seems pretty decent. Okay, it's a free ship, right? But it's pretty decent for a free ship. In terms of, is it worth it over those commanders, though? It's really up to you if you want a ship or a commander. Personally, I already have those commanders, so I really can't make the decision for you guys. I think it's a cool ship. Not to say it's something like super strong, but it is pretty good. And it has the smoke, so it's nice. One thing I didn't mention is all the guns on the ship are 360 degree turrets, so they can turn. If you're kited, it's really nice. You get pretty decent kite angles, I think. And you also get, no, well, the angles aren't that good, but you get to turn the turrets completely, which makes the ship way more comfortable to play with. But yeah, I mean, this game, there's not much happening. Okay, the points, by the way, they're inverted, so because this is a replay, so just keep that in mind. I will feature a second game here as well, a second replay in the Kushiro, because I wanted to feature 2 games for you guys, and it's Sunday. I'm recording this video on Sunday, so I have, again, some more free time for you guys. And we get 2 games in. Hopefully you'll enjoy the 2 games instead of 1. But we're up to 116k damage, which is okay. I believe you can play more aggressively most of the time with this ship. In this case, we tried to play aggressive in this game, guys. Like, we tried to play as aggressive as possible. But, unfortunately, well, everyone was kind of running away. This is the only time I got to, like, get close to people, I guess, this game. The Essex and these guys. But otherwise, we didn't really get close. We got a Confederate, which is nice. But that's pretty much it. All right, I'm kind of panicking here because I'm overextended, one might say. But I'm literally trying to get as much damage. I'm trying to squeeze as much damage out of this match as possible. The Brisbane goes full broadside. I'm loading that armor piercing. Please get a Citadel, please. We get 4 overpens, and then we get a Citadel on the last salvo. He dies, and I get a shot off on the Kushiro, but he's already dead. And I end up dying as well. For personal score, we ended up doing 139,297 damage, 173 shell hits, 3 plane shot down, 2 kills, 1 Citadel, 8 fires. We got Confederate, which is pretty nice. Team score, we got 2nd place on our team. After that, Khabarovsk, well done to him at 2.4 for him. And for us, we got 2.2. Detailed report, 29k on the Des Moines there with the HE. 11k on the Brisbane, 28k on the Repub, 22k on the Essex, 21k on the Conqueror, 17k on the Kushiro, 5k on the Yuyang, and 3k on the Delny. As you can see, most of our damage came from HE. Unfortunately, we didn't light a lot of fires this game, even though we do have a 19% fire chance on the ship, so you should be lighting quite a lot of fires when you are able to farm the ships instead of just them like dying instantly, I guess. We received 67,000 damage, and we died. And this is the credits and XP screen. Here we are in the 2nd game in the Kushiro. You're already noticing I use a smoke screen. This is because I shot broadside in front of a Stalingrad, guys. That's the reason. But anyway, we're kind of playing a bit more aggressive this game. Now, this is actually a game I played before. So this was actually my first game in Kushiro. None of these games are going to be huge damage games, guys. These are more just normal games, I guess. But boom, 5,000 damage there with that HE. And I think the Stalingrad, he's gonna get smashed. He is sailing full broadside to my team, which is pretty interesting. I was a bit excited there that I was gonna be able to get some big AP damage on him. But unfortunately, he did get blown up very, very fast. But anyway, so we're gonna look at the battleships here. We're dealing on this flank. We've got Bourgogne and Incomparable. Not really two wonderful battleships to deal with. I guess Bourgogne is okay because it's got 32mm armor everywhere. The Incomp less so much because he's going to be overmatching us everywhere. And also his concealment, I think, is almost as good as mine. But anyway, you see some more fires this game. We're up to 4 in pretty much 3 salvos. But that's kind of RNG, I guess. Boom! Got our first kill of the game there on the Destroyer, which is pretty nice. I was wondering as well, because of course you guys have seen reviews from other content creators now. What do you guys think of the Kushiro? Have you got it? Are you gonna get it? Do you feel like it's good, decent? I just kind of like, I've been reading the comments a lot. Especially, for example, in the Sibir video, a lot of you have commented on what you think, etc. But I would like to know what you guys think about this one, especially since this one's free and a lot of you can get it. So probably a lot of you have gotten your hands on playing it already, or if not, why didn't you, etc. I'm interested to know, in general, what you guys think. And I really actually, throughout the day, I like reading the comments. It's actually pretty fun. But even if I don't reply to all the comments, I do end up reading all the comments. So if you guys have any feedback, etc. on how I could potentially improve the videos, and how we can maybe, if you guys have any ideas on other types of content related to World of Warships, if you don't just like watching ship reviews, etc., I could try cover more things. If you like only watching ship reviews and randoms, you know, I'm interested, you know. And the only way I can find out what you guys think is if you guys comment these things, etc. But anyway, as you can see, all our team is kind of blobbed up here on A. We're trying to push up a bit more aggressive style, but we're gonna take this game a bit slower than last game, because we've got a Bourgogne pre-kited, we've got this Incom pre-kited. We have to be a bit more, we have to think about what we're gonna do next. And there's also that Libertad in B, which we have to pay attention to his crossfire shots potentially. And there looks to also be an Ohio moving into the B cap as well. So we also have to watch for his crossfire. But yeah. This map, what's it called? Shatter. Shatter is actually a pretty decent map for the Kushiro. To be honest, if we actually ran it down into B, we would have had a pretty good time, because we would have torped the Libertad or the Ohio, and we could have probably ran away with the smoke screen. Of course, we have to deal with that Yu Yang that's there, but honestly, pretty decent map for the Kushiro because we can use those torps. But in this case, we're not going to be doing that. Ooh, a Burrows! Okay, this ship is awesome, by the way, the Burrows. I kind of want to play it a bit more. Unfortunately, I didn't get to play it much because I'm trying to make reviews on many types of ships right now. And I wanna... I'm not gonna spoil what the next review is, guys. It's gonna be a tier 10 ship. I'm sure a lot of you can guess what the next ship I'm gonna be covering is. But the next one is also a new tier 10 ship, so maybe some of you can guess if you guys want. But anyway, the Burrows already covered it, so... But that was a fun one to cover. So far I've covered Burrows, Sibir, and today I'm covering the Kushiro, and then I've got one more tier 10 ship I want to be covering. So I don't know if I'm going to upload it tomorrow or not. I'm going to try my best to, but we'll see. If not, just keep on the lookout. And, well, you'll get notified if you're on Discord. I normally ping at everyone every time there's a YouTube upload. And if not, if you're a subscriber, you'll just see it pop up in your feed. So that's why you should be subscribed, guys. In terms of gameplay, normally I talk a lot about gameplay, but in this case, there's not really much going on. The reason you see me pushing into their spawn here is I'm trying to just leave my team. I'm trying to be in a different position than where my team is right now, because I want to not establish crossfire, because we're not going to really get big AP damage. I just want to be in a different location, so when the enemy team is kited, at least they're not all kited from me. They might be kited from my team, you know? So I'm trying to push into their spawn to create a new angle for us. And I think it's good. I think this was a good strategy because there's not any destroyers in the cap here, in their spawn, I mean. So nothing's really gonna outspot me. So playing aggressive here is actually a pretty good idea. Now you see me holding my fire here and not shooting. The reason for this is I'm trying to get into a very aggressive position whilst minimizing damage intake. So then we have more HP to deal with, so we can defend ourselves. But in this case, we see this Bourgogne running it up at me. He's running up pretty fast. Of course, we know Bourgogne goes pretty fast. And I'm going to launch some torps. Now, these are only 8-kilometer torps, so I don't think... And they're pretty fast, so they're going to reach those 8 kilometers pretty fast. So I don't think I'm going to end up hitting any torps on this Bourgogne. But anyway, we start getting some shots on him, which is pretty nice. Boom! 6.6k damage there. A pretty decent HE salvo. We love to see it. Hopefully we can get some fires. I mean, we're already on 8, but we want more fires. Now, he did use some AP on me here, but we're going to try angle to him. The Libertad secondaries are on me as well. I DCP that like a troll because I don't think that's a good idea, especially fighting the Libertad Kushiro there who are shooting us with HE secondaries and HE main guns. They might light us on permafire, but it's okay. It's called being a bit greedy here because we want our 5 guns to use them, of course. We seem to be pulling the Bourgogne out of the position. He's pre-kited now. I do still have a Yamato behind me as well, and that Burrows, so he still doesn't want to push up into those things as well. But as you can see, he is taking some big damage to me. I think we've done 20-30k to him already in the short amount of time we've been fighting him, which is nice to see. At the ranges, like 7 to 12 kilometers, I think you should be able to hit ships pretty consistently with the Kushiro. And then the longer ranges, you might have a bit of a hard time. But if you're relatively experienced, I think you should have a pretty easy time still overall. Personally, I actually find the ship pretty relaxing to play. It's not like... I don't know. I find it more fun personally than Goliath to play. Now, it doesn't have that super heal Goliath has to play. But you've got the smoke, which is pretty nice. And I think the smoke allows you to disengage from certain areas. I don't know. I like playing the ship. Maybe it's because I like Ibuki. Some people don't like Ibuki. It reminds me a lot of Ibuki, Mayoko, and Aoba style ships. Less so the Zao, actually. More like Ibuki and those ones. I don't really play Mogami 203s, so I would have said that, but I don't really play Mogami 203s. Ugh! Big shot from the Libertad. I thought I was gonna get dev struck, but it's okay. We're up to 123,000 damage. These games, like I said, weren't gonna be these super games, guys, but I hope you still enjoy some sort of gameplay style. You see me trying to push always into their spawn in these games. Even the games I didn't feature, I played some. It's pretty much the same exact amount of damage, and I'm again trying to push into their spawn the whole time. This is mostly because, well, we had a strong flank on all these games. If you have a weak flank, even better, because you can pre-kite and you can pretty much kite away from them and farm them for free, which is really nice. But as you saw, even when you can't do that and you have to push into their spawn, you know, maybe they have the weak flank, you can still do it with that smoke screen, and you can have an overall pretty decent time. Trying to squeeze out just a bit more damage out of this game, but I don't think we're going to be able to get much because our team is smashing into this Kushiro as well. It seems like every game I've played Kushiro, there was always a Kushiro on the enemy team. So I think it's, even if you don't get the ship, I think watching the video regardless helps you kind of understand what the strengths and weaknesses are of the ship. But yeah, I think overall it's pretty fun to play. Not something super fun like Colbert or something, but like I said, a relaxing ship I can just play and relax whilst playing it. I wanted to show you something actually on the ship. It has these wings here. I believe there's probably spare wings for our plane here. They've got the little Japanese flag on it, which is pretty nice to see. But here's what the ship looks like. I think it looks pretty cool. But we'll actually take a look at that in port probably a bit more in detail. Boom. Also, some people are wondering sometimes, how do you turn off the UI? I turn it off normally to see incoming shells. To turn it off, it's Control J, guys, if you're interested. It's Control J. I set it on a mouse button, so I just turn it off and on like this whenever I want. It's so I can more accurately see where the shells are coming from. So there's no UI elements. But we should be able to win this game pretty easily here. The points are inverted again because it's a replay. And the Kushiro did end up dying. So let's go take a look at the score. For our second game, personal score, we ended up doing 141,425 damage, 208 shell hits, 1 incapacitation, 2 kills, 13 fires, 1 assisted incap, and a spotted ribbon. Team score, we got top of our team at 2.1k base XP, but no achievements. Detailed report, but of course, still a nice performance from us, I guess. 69k damage, nice on the Bourgogne. We got 6k on the Hayate, 23k on the Stalingrad that died instantly. Libertad, 20k, 11k on the Incomp, 8k on the Kushiro, and 3k on the Ohio. Damage received, 58k. This game, as you saw, we got slightly more fire damage, but not a... Well, we got only HE damage, no AP this game usage-wise. And this is the credits and XP. So for my commander build, we've got Gun Feeder, Grease the Gears, Eye in the Sky, Adrenaline Rush, Superintendent, Survivability Expert, Concealment Expert, and Top Grade Gunner. You can use your Zhao build if you want. I think I used a different build in this case, but you can. Main Battery Mod 3, Concealment System Mod 1, Prop Mod 1, Aiming System Mod 1, but you can take the Smoke Generator. I wouldn't take the Smoke Generator. We're looking for that better dispersion, I guess. For the slot 2, I recommend actually Hydro Search Mod 1, which I'll probably actually end up taking. Engine Room Protection right now, I guess, which is actually okay as well. Main Armaments Mod 1 as well, but I recommend taking the Spotter Plane Mod 1, so you get that extra gun range whenever you want. Not whenever you want, but it's for an extended period of time. For the armor layout for the ship, which is pretty interesting, I guess, we've got that 25mm cruiser nose armor. Ooh, we've got a 30mm side and deck armor. I actually want to take a look at the Zhao armor for a second. Oh, it's pretty much the same as Zhao, I guess. Similar, very similar to the Zhao. And the aft is 25. It does seem to sit a lot lower in the water than Zhao does, which is pretty cool, I guess. And this is the Citadel. Looks like we've got a turtleback, 65. You'll still get Citadel if you're full broadside, so do be a bit careful. If we remove the armor for the Zhao and take a look at the Citadel, as you can see, Zhao Citadel sits a bit higher, of course. But then again, still Citadelable on both, so you have to be pretty careful regardless, especially if you're full broadside with the Kushiro. Now, for the exterior camouflage, for the Kushiro, we've got this green and green camouflage. I think it looks pretty awesome. Like I said, not a single color camo, so that's always very much appreciated, Mr. Yodo. All right. So yeah, Kushiro, the camouflage looks pretty awesome. The alternate, by the way, looks like this, which is actually a darker shade of green, which I think looks pretty good as well overall. But I prefer the other one myself. And for a little feature, as you saw before, we've got the little plane wings over here, which is pretty nice to see. And we've got the plane over here in the back. And this is what the rest of the ship looks like. I believe we got Kushiro written on the back in Japanese. A pretty cool ship in terms of its looks as well. And overall, a relaxing ship to play. I think it's overall pretty fun. And it looks pretty nice indeed. It does remind me a lot of a Ibuki. I don't know if they are the same class of ship, probably not. Of course, they both were in the build, but I don't know if it's like a Ibuki. I know, no, not really. I guess a Ibuki sits a lot higher in the water. Maybe a Takahashi hull. Not even, I think it's... Maybe it's similar to Takahashi. It does have those wings as well, but I'm not sure if they are the same or not. Let's check. Here of Designs 1944. This one's 1945. No, they aren't the same. I guess they look quite... They look quite similar. They might be same, but I'm not sure 100%. So I don't want to make any accusations of them being the same. So, yeah. How you get it though, the price of the ship, you click the armory here. And wait for it to load, of course, as always. And then... Hold on, guys. I'm giving you the authentic experience of the loading. So here is the sail into a new decade with Kushiro. You either click this one or you click 10th. Nope. You either click decade at sea or there. So we're going to click the decade at sea, the star here or compass. And Kushiro is going to be on the top. It's available for 10,000 festive tokens. And we click it and you can see what its stats are, etc. And you see what its things are, strengths and weaknesses. Or you can, of course, get the special commanders. You can choose some of them. It's up to you. I think we have, looks like Sansonetti and Sazen Bing to pick from over there. And for you also have the option to pick super containers, or this is fine thing, or even a bonus package for tier 10. Now, how do you get those festive tokens? You're going to be playing games. If you want, you can click the little filter on your port, and you're going to hover over this one, show ships with festive rewards. These are the ships that you haven't played that you can get festive rewards from. And if you, for example, hover over the ship or hover over the little icon here, it'll tell you how much you're going to earn and how much base XP is required to get that festive token. So in this case, we get 100 from the tier 9s. I wonder if we have any tier 10s left. Yes, we have Shikishima here. Shikishima, you get 125. Tier 8, you would get 75, it looks like. Tier 7, you get 50. Tier 6, you get 35. Tier 5, you get 25. And I think that's it. Yes, that's it. So overall, you can get quite a lot if you have a number of tier 10s. Now, I don't know how many you need, how many ships you actually need to unlock it. But then what you do is you don't have to play one game in every ship, guys. The base XP is stackable. So then what you're going to do to unlock more, you're going to click the update navigator on the top left here. You're going to click festive rewards. And we're going to probably look, for example, I can click Shikishima and Slava and St. Vincent and the submarine here. And you just click as many as you can. I don't know how many I have unlocked, but you're just going to keep clicking till the number stops. So in this case, we clicked quite a lot. You also get steel for the super ships, so you can click those as well. I can click quite a lot because I have some in reserve. That's how much I can click. So I'm going to collect. And so in this case, we got 2.2k steel and 1.9k festive tokens. And you saw how easy that was. That was from pretty much 2 games I played today. But that's because I have a lot of ships, I guess, as well. So that is also going to help me because I have how many ships? 787, guys. Reminds me of the Boeing 787 right there. But yeah. And then we click on the armory and you're going to see our festive tokens go up. Now, this is very obvious for most of you. But for those of you who don't know. Hold on. Okay, let's see. And look, we have 1.9k now. I'm personally going to get a... I want to get the bonus package actually for the burrows actually. I'm going to put that on after this. Maybe I'll put it on right now. So So you guys see me put it on. There you go. Boom. There you go. Done. So there it is. That is the Kushiro video, guys. I guess I should cover ship characteristics right now before the video ends. So we got 57,450 HP with 13% torpedo damage reduction. Artillery, we've got 203mm guns, dual barrel, so we've got 10 guns total. 9.7 second reload. Pretty decent HE, I guess, and AP. Okay. 19% fire chance, pretty nice with 34mm of pen, and we got 17.2 kilometer gun range. For our torpedoes, we've got 16 torps, 4x4, 8 kilometer range. They do 21,000 damage, as mentioned before, and 76 knots of speed, which is pretty decent. For maneuverability, it goes 36.2 knots with an 860 meter turning circle radius and 8.5 second rudder shift. Pretty much the same as Zhao, slightly slower rudder shift time. And concealment, but actually, is that rudder shift from unique upgrade? It is. I think, does it still give you... Oh, it doesn't give you rudder shift. Actually, I'm coping. So Zhao has slightly faster rudder shift time. And for concealment, we've got 10.3 kilometer detection. But that is pretty much it for the Kushiro video. I know I've been talking for quite a lot, but do I recommend the Kushiro, guys? I think if you have enough tokens and you want a tier 10 ship, Japanese cruiser, if you like Japanese cruisers, you might like the Kushiro. Personally, I find it just a relaxing ship to play. It's not going to be like game breaking or something, but it can be pretty decent in some situations. We've got that smoke where we can play a bit aggressive, and I think it's overall a pretty relaxing HE spamming ship style. So for me, I would get it, but again, it depends if you want Salzembing or the Italian Commander, or you just want to farm super containers. Maybe you can get some premium ships, etc. But having the option to get the tier 10 ship here is nice. I personally got the ship and I still got a lot of super containers. So if you have a lot of ships, then of course you should get the Kushiro, because you can still get the super containers and the other things. So overall, pretty decent ship. Definitely recommend getting it if you enjoy Japanese cruisers and you just want a relaxing ship to play and you want a free tier 10 premium ship and you maybe didn't have one before. It's pretty cool. That is pretty much it for this video though, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, do please leave a like and a sub to the channel. Or well, a like to the video and a sub to the channel, because it would help me out quite a lot. And if you did enjoy, maybe you want to share the video, I would also greatly appreciate it. That's up to you though, of course. And that's pretty much it. If you want to leave a comment as well, I would appreciate it. I will read it as best I can. Of course, I'll read it. I mean, not as best I can. And that's pretty much it for this video. Big fan, guys.